Hello, everybody. Welcome to Dead Unicorn. My name's Corey. We are playing Spelljammer. Dungeons and Dragons. What edition is this? We went up to 5, and now we're going back down to 1? I don't understand it. But hey, we're doing it. I'd like to thank the patrons scrolling right over here, right next to me, right there they are. And let's introduce everybody. Like I said, my name's Corey. I am playing the character of Beetlejuice. He is an elf with a whip. Oh, happy Halloween, by the way. Hey, Kios is played by Spike.
And tonight there is no Spike. There's only Quijos, the Gith Yankee paladin with a habit of going to the right.
Tinker is being played by Brenna. That's it.
Tonight, accompanied by her faithful companion here, Dobby.
That's it. Nothing about your character or anything? Okay.
No, sorry. I'm recovering from surgery, so my brain's a little fuzzy at the moment. It's more like
It's all right.
She's getting in character with a truly chaotic fey mind.
Yes. She is a sprite or a fairy. She is an engineer or an artificer, and that's her.
basically I'm the mechanic.
Playing Adora is Sarah.
She's a bunny person.
I am a Harangon who is an amnesiac, but recently discovered that she is actually the result of a spell and not a real person. So that's kind of interesting.
Yeah, you're like in Severance. You're that person's innie. And our game master is Howard.
Hi, all. Did you have more announcements still?
No, I'm good. I got
Okay.
the patrons. I love the patrons. They're awesome. Patreon.com/deadunicorn. That's it.
All right, awesome. Okay, so previously on the Spelljammer.
Sure.
So our crew went to the moon of Earth? No, Earth is Greyhawk. Toral. Yep, sorry. The moon of Toral, which they found out has a huge illusion over it, which blocks the people of Toral from seeing that it's a forested moon with crystal cities and just an amazing population up there of elves. They moved past the illusion, docked at a huge crystal city. They met with a woman who explained that she was going to hire them to find an artifact that was very important to her religion. It looks like a crystal sword. And then they went traveling through a sewer and out onto this moon. Meanwhile, back with their big ship, which is currently under repair, they have a man named Sano who is a survivor of something called a death jammer, which is a Neogi device that basically takes people's life force and uses it to power their ships. And watching over Sano as he recovers, it was Eudora, the Harangon, and she discovered something interesting and is now making her way to locate and join the rest of the party. So we're going to start with you, Eudora.
Mm-hmm.
Assuming everybody's all right with that. Also, just a side note for anyone who's curious, we are currently down one. One of our players has a real life job and can't be here tonight. He is somewhere else.
The nerve.
Yeah.
Says the girl who was gone the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, what's up with that?
The Star Druid can't be in the forest moon plot where he would have been like totally excited to play.
Sadness.
So, that said, there is one other PC that is with the group, but his player's not here. So he'll be kind of hanging out in the background, just giving people a thumbs up and being support. It's not a him-focused episode. Dora, the smuggler you found to get you to the forest moon without having to go through the city port has been given instructions from your auto gnome on where to drop you off, which from your best guess, or rather, it's their best guess as to where the tomb of this ancient uh, elven cleric is supposed to be, um, based on their knowledge of geography after looking at some maps, and is super vague. And the guy has been doing nothing but complain. He doesn't like autonomes. He doesn't, he has that kind of a I don't listen to droids mentality. And he's just going on and on about how this is dumb. He's going to be dropping you off. He doesn't care. He expects you to pay him either way. And you have his money in hand, and you're wise enough not to hand it over immediately. But he has skirted all of the regular shipping lanes that go and dock at the big cities. Once he got away from them, he has been flying kind of low over the trees. You have seen, or actually, make a perception roll before I give you more info. Before I just tell you everything. Here's the whole plot.
It does. Yes, I was actually just pulling up my character sheet. Sorry, those are my cats trying to murder each other in the background. So
As
I
they
apologize for the random noises.
Oh, okay. Well, that would be great because they would be a problem that solves itself. They've killed each other, and that makes them much more quiet.
Yeah, one hopes. They're just always very noisy when they're trying. Okay, so you said perception?
Right. Okay. Let's see. That adds your bonus in. All right. So with that, as you look out over the trees, you do notice there's plenty of life in this forest. At one point in the distance, you see something that is far too large to be a bird and looks almost reptilian, with a very long beak-like face, huge leathery wings. Other things you would see is, there are flocks of birds and such because you're flying, kind of going over the trees. You do see glistening lakes, and they do occasionally go over a road that cuts through the forest. The roads are well kept, or at least the ones that you notice, and they actually have a something gleaming along the sides of them that you can see, almost reflecting or refracting the light of the area, creating a strange multicolored just effect of light that runs the length of the roads. But he's purposely not following the roads, but there are times when he has to kind of just pass over one real quick because he is smuggling you. You're not supposed to be here. And as that is happening, there is a point where, let's see, with the trail, you would not see it. You basically, I guess, make a dex save would be the best way to do this.
That sounds ominous.
Right? I love that.
Dex save. Oh boy.
Okay.
All right, hang on. My character sheet. Oh, I just had it. There it is. Okay. Let's see. Dexterity. There it is. Okay.
All right.
Aha, take that.
Well,
Whatever is coming at me.
Well, I have good news and bad news. The good news is you are very dexterous.
I am. That's my
the
thing.
bad news is the guy steering the ship is not.
Damn it. Mental note, steer the ship myself next time.
Okay, so what you're in is picture something slightly larger than a gondola. And there are weird hose-like attachments that go up to where the oars are, or the oar is that he is doing this with, and it's like the motion is making it go. This has some sort of a spells in line with it that have something to do with Spelljammer technology, but it's not a full Spelljammer helm thing that's capable of astral sea travel. This is just something that looks like a boat that can cruise around in space. You've seen something like this before. It's not completely unfamiliar to you. I just wanted the player to have a visual image of what's going on. And You see it before he does and are able to like grasp sides of the ship, and there is something coming up from beneath you guys, and it looks like at first it looks like a dark shadow, and then you realize it is the backs of several, like they look like manta rays that are soaring through the air instead of swimming through the water, and they are coming up in almost like a cloud, like there's several of them flying together, and they are coming up as a school, and they are coming up beneath you, and it feels like they're going to keep rising above you, like they're not going to stop at where you are, they're going to keep coming up and over. um I would say you could make a check. Well, I guess you can still make a check to see if you happen to recognize what it is. Uh, so let's see. This would be arcane to know what these are.
Okay.
So if you could like, if you like, you can make an arcane check to go, oh my God, those are blah. But most likely you will just go, wow, those are flying manta rays, um, which is weird in itself. Yeah, no idea. They're a rare creature. They have a connection to the Feywild, so you had a chance, but no. All right, so yeah, they come up, and the boat rocks, and he almost falls out. The boat is turned, and it starts to head downward, and as it does, they're going to fly over and start trying to bite at you as a swarm. But we will roll initiative because their goal at first is, when they see flying things, is to mess them up, and now they're going to attack. All right, so I'll roll his first and then theirs. Okay, and them. All right, and oh, did Tinker roll initiative?
I did out of habit. I heard initiative.
Oh, okay.
I clicked the button and I went, all
It's
right.
like initiative, yeah.
Again, the aforementioned recovering from surgery, not at 100%.
All right.
That
So-
might only hear out of one ear.
You're all doped up on the good stuff and you're not sharing.
And I can only hear out of one ear right now. So that doesn't help.
All right, Sarah, go ahead and roll your initiative for Eudora.
Alrighty.
I thought you had, and was about to start, and I was like, oh, wait. Eudora
No,
spells her game. Very
actually-
strange.
Turns out the person on painkillers was paying better attention than I was. I didn't hear you say that. So yeah, there's that. There it goes. I was like, why won't you click?
All right. The with their initiative bonus, the Allurian go first. Well, the creatures go first. And then you, and then your driver. And basically they attack because they're attacking as a swarm. It is one basic attack. It just does a lot of damage. All right. That'd be an 18 to hit you.
Bummer.
It hits?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Three. Ooh. All right. As they swarm over you, you will see that their undersides, unlike their top side, which looks like just a dull gray, which I said looks kind of like a gray cloud coming up underneath you at first, before you start to notice that it separates out and it's multiple creatures. Their underside is like reflective, almost like a, like how it looks when there's oil spilled at a gas station. You see the light reflect on there. That whole prismatic display. That is the skin of their underside. It is very bright, like swirling rainbow of color, which would be much more fun to appreciate if it wasn't, surrounding little mouths that are biting into you. And the little mouths, however, are tearing out chunks of your flesh. You take a total of 18 points of damage from these bites as they swarm all over you.
Holy crap. 18 points?
Yes. Oh, yeah. They also get to bite dude as well. So let me roll that. Definitely hits. And he takes one more point. He's 1 point more unlucky than you are. On the upside, we're using 5th edition rules. There's nothing like, hey, if you take over half your hit points, make a con save, see if you die.
Yeah.
All right. So he takes a lot of damage as well. It is now your turn. You, because you made your deck save, you are able to currently act normally, even though the ship is kind of starting to spiral out of control. You have freedom of movement for this round. You not freedom of movement as in you can ignore rough terrain, just in that you can move normally, and as well as use any of your bunny jumping powers, whatever you'd like to do. You are because he was flying low and close to the treetops, you are probably like 10-15 feet, just at a quick guess, over the, or actually it started going down. So you're like only 5 feet from the tops of the trees.
I'm trying to remember how high I can jump.
You can jump pretty far. I don't remember offhand exactly, but it is in your racial
I
abilities.
think it's fairly normal. I think it's the far part that is the extraordinary part.
Let's see. Now, had you failed your deck save, you could have used a reaction to add a d4, but you didn't, so it didn't matter. You can rabbit hop as a bonus action. You jump a number of feet equal to 5 times your proficiency bonus, which is currently 3, I believe.
2.
Is it still 2?
Yep.
Okay, sorry. It's only 10 feet right now, which could put you in a tree.
Yeah, that's basically what I'm going to try to do. I'm going to try to see if I can get out of the immediate harm's way.
All right. So to catch the tree, I mean, you can definitely cross the distance with no problem, but to catch the tree, you'll need to make an athletics check.
Yeah, fair enough. Oh, that's not good. That's strength based.
You still rolled pretty well. So you are good. Yeah, you leap into a tree and just catch the edges of it, and you are fine because you made the check and it's well within your movement radius. You still have your action and bonus action and weapon interaction. You know, if you want to prep something, that'll only count as your movement, or actually, it'll count as 10 feet of your movement from where you are in the tree. The bad news is these trees are kind of tall. You're still a good 35 feet in the air, you would guess. So if you hop down, that would be it rounds up, so that'd be 4d6 of damage. Although if you use your movement to go down, or use your action as movement, you could negate part of it.
Like, how much can I negate?
You could move 30 feet, I believe. So that'd be all but 1d10.
All but what?
1d10. You can climb down, I'd say, fairly quickly. So I'd be willing to let you use your full movement just climbing down. I guess maybe make an athletics check.
I don't know that I can afford to take any more damage at all.
I would say you probably should make an athletics check, though, to do that, because it declined quickly like that. The upside is you have leapt out of the cloud of creatures, and they are not armed with a melee weapon, and therefore cannot take a reaction to strike you.
Okay, so they're not like pursuing me or anything?
It's not their turn. They are currently surrounding the boat and the guy in it.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, it sucks
I
for
still
him.
haven't paid him though, right?
No, you did not.
Looks like I got a free ride.
It's one way though. It was one way anyway. He didn't want to come back out here.
All right. Yeah, I guess I'll see if I can make my athletics check to try to get down. That's all I can really do, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Roll athletics. All right, fair enough. I'm self bandit and use up all my good rolls already.
All right. You're climbing down a tree. Gravity's on your side. 12 is good enough. You make it down. You were still going to take the 1d10 of damage just because it's further than you could have done. Or I mean, 1d6, not 1d10. It's a d6 for every 10 feet. I'm in my head thinking that and then saying d10.
So
That's a bit of
Roll
a
that.
big difference.
So that is another 4 bludgeoning damage of just basically the pain on your feet as you come. You make that last 10 feet and you're just land on your feet. It hurts a bit, but you're all right. You'll live.
yeah, I'll wait.
Assuming that did not knock you out. I don't think it does.
No, I mean I've still got like a third of my hit points left.
Yeah, you're all
Which
right.
is not great. Not a deal, but
It's all right. Shake it off. You got 2 lucky rabbit's feet. What could go wrong?
they weren't lucky for the rabbit, were they?
You're the rabbit.
I know, I'm just saying.
Oh,
When you're like having a lucky rabbit's foot, it's like wasn't very lucky for the rabbit.
I just for a moment imagine that Eudora walks around with like 2 rabbit's feet, like on like nunchucks. Just this was the last guy that pissed me off, and he was my brother.
It's like a necklace of rabbit's feet or rabbit's ears around my neck, like a psycho. You're like, what is with her? What is her problem?
They were like, she's a cannibal. It's okay. She only eats rabbit people. We're fine.
She doesn't have any problems. See,
You'll
she's
need
got proof she
Sarah
doesn't have any problems.
All right. You have survived the. Let's see. He gets up from prone, and he will. Oof. He's going to try and steer that thing down. I'm just curious what happens to him at this point. Nothing good.
You're just curious if he lives or dies.
It's not like he's my personal character. It's just all the characters that aren't you guys are my personal characters, and a lot of them die.
But this dude's a smuggler. I'm not. I mean,
right. He is able to maneuver the boat out of the cloud of them, and is like trying to pour on the speed. You have the cover of trees making you harder to see. So I'm going to say they are more prone to go after him than you. So I'm going to say they've got a 75% chance to go after him. Anything higher than that, they're feeling like some rabbit meat. No, it's him. And so he's going to move the full movement of the vehicle, and they're going to pursue, and he basically led them away from you. That was so sweet of him, as he's really just trying to save his own life. But he's not too concerned. Otherwise, he'd be like, no, my money. But right now, he just wants to live.
yeah, money doesn't do you a lot of good if you're dead.
However, from the forest floor, looking up through the trees and at them, that prismatic effect underneath them, very entrancing. If it were a little bit closer, it's no longer you're more than the appropriate radius. You would have to make a wisdom save or just stare as they land on you and eat you. But you can see it and you feel like the tug, but you don't have. It's too far away. You don't have to make the check. As they soar away. Now, meanwhile, back to the group. Looking around, your other party member, he climbs down from the trees, and Dell looks at the group and said, "All right, so it looks like we need to go this way." And I just saw the weirdest thing. It looked like a gondola, not unlike the one that we used to get here. Not the same one. It had a different style of oar. It's just the one oar instead of two. But that ship looks like it was attacked by a cloud of, I'm gonna say, big flat birds, and they dropped someone. and then got away. There's somebody out there that way in the exact direction we need to go. I couldn't get a good look at her though, or good at them though.
All
Good
right.
looks then. We'll stay sharp. Hopefully they're friendly.
Well, I don't think that was supposed to happen. It's about all I can guess. But somebody's still in the boat because it sailed away quick and was pursued by.
The bear.
I'm going to go with evil flat moonbirds.
Come on, it was right there. Exit left, pursued by a bear.
Right. Is there anything y'all would have done as you all have begun traveling? Is there anything I need to know about that you have, like a particular order or any spells up that I should be taking into account that you have going?
Not right now, no.
No.
Okay. All right. I don't remember if Dell had any, but he's not here, so most likely he doesn't remember either. I think that seems pretty fair. He didn't send me any like special instructions. Hey, Dell would blah, 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 or I would totally do it. Let's see. I was just checking to see if he had Pass Without Trace, but I don't see it. So he does not cast that. I think that's a ranger thing, not a druid thing.
Yeah, sounds like it.
I think druids can get it too, though.
Well, if they can, I don't see it on his list.
Basically, it doesn't seem like one that Dell would take. If that makes any sense.
Well, druids can prepare every day from their list.
Yeah, he can. The last thing on his list from that same level, it's a second level spell. I was looking at first. He could have done it, but instead he has bark skin ready.
That seems right.
Yeah, it seems more like him.
I think bark skin is temporary, right? It's not an all day spell like Major.
Yeah, it's not a breakfast spell.
Yeah. Although if anybody has mage armor, you should cast that because that's an all day spell. That's 8 hours.
So he said there's some birds over there. Something about birds?
Yeah, he said that there were weird flat moon birds that attacked a ship. It was a small ship like y'all used to get over here, not a big spell jamming, galactic spanning ship. Just a small like passenger. It looked like a passenger fell out, and then the ship raced away as these weird flat birds chased it off. Weird flat moon birds.
Well, we better go find out if anybody is okay over there. Come on, let's go.
It could be an evil person, just so you know. We don't know who it is.
Oh,
I'm
no.
guessing an
We'll
elf,
help
since
an
only elves can be here.
It's okay. If they're evil, we'll just beat them up again.
I have no problem stealing from him then.
Without special permission, keep in mind, only elves can be here.
So we don't want to be seen.
I mean, the elves here can.
I mean,
he looks over at the gift. You could be a messed up elf. I don't know how kind of accident would it taken.
When he says that, I'm going to take the tip of my great sword. I'm just picking my teeth.
Oh no, only elves are supposed to be here. That means that anybody who's not an elf that's here then is a bad guy. That's not how this works at all. Come on, let's go.
I'm not saying they're bad. I'm saying that the person is probably an elf, and if we go meet this person and we are not all elves, that person would probably notice.
Well, if they need help, we're still gonna go help them, right?
All right.
I mean,
I'm an elf. I think I'm fine.
all right.
I just double checked my character sheet. I was pretty sure I was an elf.
Maybe, hey, we should get like a helmet for Chaos over here, and he can just like pull that down and no one can see his face.
There are fey creatures that they're said to be all over this.
Oh, wait.
So
wait.
Tinker might be fine.
Chaos, put your plague mask on.
Oh, yeah.
There, we covered it. We're good now. Let's go. Let's go.
That won't creep out anybody. Is that an elf? Does it matter?
He's got a hood on. He's got the mask. No one knows what it looks like. We're good now.
With that particular mask, it could be a kinku, really. It could be lots of things. All right. Well, I guess his pointy ears do stick out. At least you came with pointy ears. All right. You all start heading towards the crash site that he points out to you. Normally, he'd probably offer to be in the lead or in the middle. I'm going to put him in the back middle because he's not as important today. So who's in charge?
I'm kind of disappointed. Just talking about pointy ears, I'm kind of disappointed that Black Adam doesn't have the pointy ears. He used to. He had Black
He
Adam.
also had hair. I mean, if you want to get technical.
Well, that's true too. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Do you think Namor has the pointy ears in Wakanda forever? Hope so. Like the pointy ears.
I have no idea.
They're all elves.
We've kind of learned not to expect things to actually exactly match the comics by now, right?
Not with
You're going
DC.
to be disappointed if you're going with that, expecting that.
Marvel's actually gotten into embracing the weirdness of the comics, and it's good that they have. DC's hit or miss on that. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Like the Suicide Squad really embraced the comics, and it was great. The first Suicide Squad did not, and it was meh.
So,
I'll say the costumes were good.
let's
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, costume's great. Let's go. As the gamers say, let's go.
Who's leading was my question.
Huh?
Who's your marching order?
I'll go first.
All right, cool.
Kihos is probably a little slower with the mask on, so he's in the rear.
Kind of like trying to keep track of where everybody else is and follow them because you have more peripheral vision than forward vision.
Well, I've got one eye, and now it's through like a little.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You have to just walk sideways. Put your head sideways. All right. Then I guess Tinker's probably above. All right. As y'all march forward, there is skittering in the woods. Corey, you're a ranger and you are trained in survival, I believe.
Yes.
So I'm just going to give it to you that you notice certain things, like you're just good at picking up on the natural sounds. Most of what you hear, it does sound like animals, but it doesn't sound like large predators. It's more like small predators or small animals moving away from what they assume is predator as you and your group are marching. I didn't hear anything about y'all being stealthy moving forward, so I'm assuming you're not. You do hear something move that's kind of large, and as it starts moving, you realize it's not far off. It is to your left, but it does feel like it moves through the brush away from you. More like could you imagine like if there's a bear and he's not terribly intimidated by people, but people walk over, so he's like fine. And he gets up and just sort of slowly walks. Except you don't know what it is. You just guess it's a larger animal, and it's somewhere to your, I guess, left.
All right.
All right.
Like,
And
there are creatures in the woods. Off we go.
As y'all march on, the plant life here is thick, vibrant. There's a lot of strange colors. Even the leaves are like strange hues, not just green, but there's also like purple leaves in addition to fall colors. It's a strange mix also because the colors look like they should be seasonal, but it's like all the different seasons are going right now, except maybe winter because there's just too much life around. Eudora, from where you've landed, you look around. It is dusk right now. I don't remember offhand. Do you have dark vision?
I don't actually remember if Herringons have that or not. Let me see. It should be on my character sheet if I do, right?
Yeah, it'd be under your traits on the right bottom.
Let me take a look.
Looks like you do not.
Okay, then.
So
Do I just have normal vision then?
yes, you have normal vision.
Okay,
It's dusk, so it's dim light. You would have noticed as you were arriving, the area looked like it was dusk, and it still looks pretty much the exact same. Even as you were arriving from a distance, like still coming towards the moon on the boat. So it's everything is dim light. Do you want to light a torch? Cast a
Yeah.
spell or walk in the dark?
No, I want to light a torch. If I don't have the dark vision, I'm not gonna go stumbling through the dark jungle. That seems like a stupid idea.
You can still do stuff. You're just at disadvantage. But with a torch,
No,
that will
no,
cancel.
I'd rather not do the stupid thing.
All right. Um, Ahead of you guys, you do see like a dim, like yellowish orange light that you would guess is most likely torchlight. Is far enough away though that you see like the glow of the light itself, but it doesn't illuminate the area that you're in. It's just away in the distance. You see that like you're a good 120 feet away at this point. Um, as you have lit this, you'll notice an increase in number of just at first you think there's a lot of bugs around here, but some of them are lighting up and some of them are getting larger, and it's almost like they have a bioluminescent glow to them, and they have legs and arms and little, these are creatures, these are tiny humanoids, maybe fairies, not sure. They don't look like Tinker, and they are just buzzing around and looking at you. They haven't done anything yet. Do y'all continue your approach? Corey.
Yeah.
Okay. You doing anything, Eudora?
I'm going to. Do I hear any noise? Do I have like any indication that there's somebody up ahead, or see any light or anything like that?
I don't think I think all of them have dark vision, so for them it is
Nope.
normal.
Kios
light.
does not.
Oh, Kios does not. Oh, I just got the mask and everything.
So would you have a light source, Kios?
I'm following the elves.
All right.
Just stumbling after them in the dark.
Good
I
thing
do
they
have-
weren't being stealthy, but
Yeah.
they're pretty far away. You could at this point I don't even think you'd really notice it at that distance. There'd be too many other things in a living forest to
Yeah,
really
fair enough.
notice them walking 120 feet away.
Okay. Do I have enough of a sense of direction from like landmarks and like where the water is and where the sky is and all of that to know like which direction we were heading in before we crashed?
Yeah, you do.
Would I need to
You-
roll
well,
for that? Or
Actually, yeah, you know what I would say to get your orientation as you look around, perception.
fair enough. I know if it were Sarah as Sarah the player, I would be hopelessly lost in the jungle. But I'm hoping Eudora has a better sense of direction than I do. All right. So what would I roll for that?
Perception.
Okay.
Let's see.
Yes, Eudora has a pretty good perception. So let's hope.
That's pretty good.
Should be good.
All right. So with a dirty 20, you look around and you see the tree that you jumped down from, and you're like able to reconstruct in your head which direction you were flying, when you turned, when you jumped out, and you're like, okay, so if that and that and that, then that means we were headed this way, and you kind of orient yourself through that. Even though from down here everything looks totally different, the forest floor versus above the trees, you're able to orient yourself from how you got down here and how you got into that tree. So yes, you are able to pick a direction and start heading that way. As you start moving and walking towards that direction with your torch, the little tiny bioluminescent floating people seem to they keep like a distance, probably about 15 feet to 20 feet, like they are watching you. They don't seem hostile yet, but they are definitely kind of following you around to see what you're doing, maybe. Or maybe they're planning to eat you, who knows?
Well, I mean, I'm wearing a bunch of weapons, so it's already kind of prominent that I'm, I guess I'm gonna make sure that like my weapons are visible. But I'm a little bunny with a bunch of weapons. I'm sure it's kind of obvious already.
All right. So as you are picking along your way, I will say that Kihos is following the elves. The elves can see just fine, so they're kind of closing. So at this point, go ahead and make a perception check to notice there is something happening behind you.
Me, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And guys, you will see that torchlight appears to be headed the opposite direction. As you were headed towards it, it's headed away from you. But it doesn't take much to just increase your speed a little, as it doesn't appear to be doing a full point run. And it stops for a moment. Then it starts to go again as you are picking your way through and just looking around, trying to find an easier path, unaware completely that there's any reason other than those creepy little guys floating around you to be in any rush. As y'all get within range, I guess Corey would be the first one. So Corey, make a perception check to recognize the holder of this torch.
Okay, perception check. Skills and perception. Normal roll. Go. That. It's
Oh, look
23.
at that.
Look at
Hey,
that.
you recognize those bunny ears that torch has lit up perfectly? Like you just see that like perfectly shaped. You're like, I know those ears. I know who that is. How'd she get here? Oh, right. He said she fell out of a ship.
Adora, you came after us.
I
You hear
have
that
some
behind you.
information you're gonna want to know.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. If you came all this way, it's pretty important. So let's have it.
Also, with a 23, you would notice that there are little bioluminescent tiny bodies flying around her, and there's others in the forest, but there's a concentration of them around her.
Yeah, she looks pretty torn up too. Like she's got a lot of bite marks all over her. She doesn't look like she's in the best shape.
Y'all can all close distance and talk now.
Yeah.
Corey's character made it pretty clear who she was.
Okay, so the client who hired us, she wasn't being completely honest about what the artifact she sent us after.
Oh, really? Oh, who could have guessed? Who could have known?
Well, when I tell you what it is, I think you're going to want to seriously rethink things. At the
Right.
very least, you're going to want to renegotiate our fee. Apparently, this artifact that she's after, whoever gets it can claim rulership of the entire religion, the entire organization. That's why she's so keen to have it.
Right.
It basically makes her queen.
All right. I'll get it. So, we certainly need money. But,
500 gold to be queen of your people seems a little cheap to me, don't
it
you
does
think?
seem a little cheap.
Yeah, it does.
So if we're going to grave rob, and we're going to take this sword from some dude who used to be the big grand leader, I think that's kind of a risky thing, and we should get paid accordingly.
Or not give it to anybody. I don't know. I don't know whether this religion's a good religion or a bad religion, or like who should be in charge of this religion.
I kind of had a feeling you were going to get all ethical about it once I told you.
Oh yeah, that's what I do. I spin in circles like this.
Oh, I'm sure you could, but it's not really up to us to tell them what to believe in their religion.
It's quite true. I mean, look, I wouldn't.
It's up to them if they want to follow somebody with a crystal sword or not. That's not really any of our business.
Right, just because I have some sort of crystal sword that makes them the Grand Poobah. That seems like not a good way to, pick a leader, but
I completely agree. But who are we to judge?
the good guys.
You gonna try to change the way this entire order practices their religion?
I don't know. What happens if we blow up the sword? Does the religion now become defunct? If we're like, here's your sword, and then we break it over our knee, and then they're like, well, I guess our religion's not true, and they all walk away. That's not gonna happen.
I don't think that's how that works, man. I think she's just looking for a leg up over other people who are vying for the same position.
Right. Well,
They have this crazy story back with my people about this bunny who pulls the sword out of a rock, and he's the only one who can pull out the sword, and it makes him really special and important. I always thought it was kind of silly, but some people believe that kind of stuff.
Yeah, well, I guess we'll find out what's going on here. Come on, let's go rob a tomb.
Are we agreed that if we do hand it over, it's not going to be unless it's for a much bigger price than what we agreed on?
Oh yeah, we're gonna renegotiate this that's like the very least. But here's the thing, if we don't go rob this tomb, she's gonna hire some other people to go rob this tomb. It's gonna be somebody.
Oh, you and your conscience. Makes us so broke sometimes.
I know.
So if I were holding the
Anybody
crystal
else
sword,
in the party have any thoughts on this?
Yeah, that's right, Chaos. If you were holding the crystal sword, you'd be the Grand Poobah of Moontown.
I think you have to be a priest in their religion or something. I think
Okay,
that's only part of it.
Yeah,
I don't think some stranger can walk up with the sword and claim leadership, but I don't know.
you're a paladin, so that's close enough, right?
it's worth a shot.
Plaid.
This is a pretty nice moon here. I could get used to it.
I don't think the religion is the government of the moon. I think they're two separate things, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Are you okay? Do you need a rest? Do you need to take a short rest and then use a hit die to heal some wounds?
What's a hit die? No, yeah, I need a rest, man. It's a medical care. Anybody got any bandages or salve? Those little
We can take
got the heck out of me.
We can take 10 minutes and you can do a little resting and recovery. We'll all watch while you have a sandwich and
Pretty sure if Keith were here, he'd be ministering to my wounds, but
Yeah.
unfortunately, it's the most inconvenient time to be injured.
Sarah, just roll a hit die. That's what they're there
Fine.
for.
It's not going to help me very much, but okay.
You can roll all 4 of your hit dice.
Can I?
Yeah, you can roll as many as you want. You just have to roll all of them at once. Otherwise, you'll have to take another rest.
Actually, during your short rest, you can start at 1, and then if you don't like what you got, you can keep rolling.
Oh, you can?
You just
Then there you go.
It's super loose on those rules. But you only have whatever your level is in hit dice to use per day.
That's right.
And there's something
It's
about
mine is a D10, right, Howard?
Yes. Okay, you get 4 hit points back. If you'd like to roll more, you can.
I would. So how does that work? Are they cumulative, or I get to pick one, or how? Or I'm not quite.
Yeah,
What were you saying about
it's cumulative. They'll keep.
It's
Adding hit
cumulative.
points.
Okay. And how many can I roll total?
4 is your max.
But you said I can't roll them all at once, right?
You can. It's actually a waste if you get what you need with 2 or 3, then you can stop there. But
Well, yeah, but I think I'm gonna need all 4.
then go ahead and
Well,
roll them
we'll
all.
see.
Well, roll the other 3 then.
Maybe And yeah, I'm gonna need 4. I lost a lot of hit points.
Also, what is your con modifier?
Um, 1.
Okay. You can, if you rolled all 4, then add 4 more to your
You get +1 for each hit for each die you roll.
right.
Oh, okay. I've rolled 3 so far, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that's a total of 14, 15, 16, 17. So you got 17 hit points back so far.
Okay. Yeah. You know what? That's I don't know. It's almost full, but I could. You think I should wait on the last one if I'm close to full?
If y'all are going to take a lunch break later and you need to heal again, you can save it for that, or you can just use it.
And I'm not sure exactly, but I don't believe you get all of your hit die back on a long rest.
You get half.
You half. That's it.
Yeah, I think I'll just save the last one just in case. I'll stay there. It's
Sounds
close
good.
enough. In case
Alright.
something else attacks us in the next, scene or two.
Speaking
means-
of that, while we've discovered that it's Eudora and we're happy to see, and it's not an elf, the mask feels a little cumbersome, so I'm going to take the mask off. And I'm just speaking of attacking, noticing is all the little floating things, are they still?
They're there.
Okay.
Just floating about. Sometimes they float next to each other for a moment, and then they float away from each other, but they're all kind of like circling you guys.
Pretty.
All right. Well, off we go then, unless Tinker wants to mess with the little glowing guys.
No. For once, she's not feeling like any mischief.
Yeah, Tinker's pretty quiet and not as animated as normal.
There's something about the gravity and the air here. She's just like, I'm not okay here.
Right?
Tinker, actually, due to your race, I forgot, you can totally make a check to recognize what these little guys are.
Oh, okay. What would that be? Nature?
Mm-hmm. Well, no, not nature. Sorry. I would say arcane, which is fine for you.
Yeah. Both ends of the spectrum there.
All right. Hang on. Too many windows open. There it is. Yeah.
Story of my
yeah,
life
that's-
in my brain.
You know that these are just tiny fae. They aren't generally hostile. They're very curious, and you also know that all of them can with a 20. Yeah, you know that they all have the ability to teleport away if there's any sign of danger. So essentially, they are probably just checking y'all out and seeing what's going on. You know that their natural language would be Sylvan. They may not actually understand what y'all are saying. They may just be like, "Who's this?" But they can be mischievous, so they might, if they get bored with you, they might decide to play with you in ways that you might not appreciate. You're right there, Brenna?
Sorry. I'm also kind of dizzy because of the way it's
Okay.
affecting my eardrums. So, yeah, no, she's not gonna really bother with them.
Okay. Seeing you in the group, though, several of them do kind of congregate near you and check you out, and they'll speak. Do you speak, Sylvan?
Yes, I do.
Oh, okay. You hear their voices. They're speaking about you, definitely. But their voices, it's almost like they're far away just because they're so small. And as they're talking to each other blatantly about you in front of you, like, hey, she looks like one of us, but she's not one of us. No, she's too big. Blah blah blah. They're back and forth. They speak like kind of rapid fire. They're judging everybody. Some of the comments they say are friendly, some are not so much. Some of them think that the rabbit person looks interesting. Some of them think the rabbit person looks ridiculous. That a rabbit would look like a person. Just it goes back and forth amongst them as they all fly about, and they're just basically gossiping about whatever the heck is happening around here.
They're just little gnats in her brain right now.
That's fairly accurate. All right. So Dell has said something about being happy to see you. Thanks for bringing the information. General Dell stuff. And then he's like, this way I think is where we need to go. Because Dell is there. Where Keith is
He
not.
certainly is.
All right. Y'all continue your march through the forest moon. As you march on, I believe that all of you already knew this, except maybe Eudora. It remains dusk. You can feel like y'all took a short rest, which means an hour passed. It's still dusk. As you march on, it is still dusk. Something that the rest of the group should already be aware of is that the day-night cycle is like 15 days to a day. So it's going to be dusk for a bit, probably the majority of your journey.
Oh, yeah.
And beyond that, you're going to start hearing the sounds that night animals make when they first start coming out. The howls of wolves, the fluttering of bats as they're coming out of their caves and whatever holes they hide in, the hoot of owls, as all these predators are just waking up and starting to look around for dinner. Well, conversely, the diurnal creatures are scurrying into their holes and whatnots. You continue on through this dimly lit world, torchlight for Kios and Eudora. And as you continue on, you see that there is a mist that is settling around the area. It is getting thicker. And I'm going to say Tinker can make an arcane check because of her background.
Ooh. 21.
Okay. I don't like the way she rolls arcane. So Tinker's going to be making something she sucks at. Make it athletics. I'm just kidding.
When in doubt, you can always make her roll a wisdom check. I mean, come on.
All right. Tinker, you are a fey creature. I think the Harengon have a fey relation, but you are literally a fey. And therefore, you recognize this particular feel that you get. There is a magic to this mist that is a similar feeling to whenever you are a place where the veil between the real world and the I almost said the shadow, not the shadow, the fey realm is thin. So this mist feels like that same mist that kind of blurs that reality, that line, which means that where you are, and that makes sense from what you've heard of this moon, that there is a lot of fey creatures in this forest. It could be because there are parts of this moon that where the veil is just so thin that they walk back and forth through that area, which also is why your presence in the forest isn't going to set off any alarm bells. It's really just the gift. Even Eudora
Maybe
could
the
pass as a
Harengon.
fey. Eudora could pass as a fey creature.
That's
The
like the
gift
thing.
are so not fey creatures.
No.
All right. So you get that sense. You're aware that that is what this is. You are in an area where that border is thin.
Okay.
For the rest of you, the mist is kind of vision obscuring, but it's well, I guess for everyone with dark vision, you had 60 feet. It's of daylight vision because of your dark vision. It's actually for you reduced to 30 feet. If anyone's using just a torch, our torch is 60. I think they're 30 feet of bright and 30 feet of dim.
Yeah.
So that's going to be halved to 15 and 15. And what are we rolling?
Oh, that was something I hit by accident. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
I was trying to look at my character sheet.
She's like, I blow up the forest. Oh, well, shoot. Okay.
No, that was not intentional. Sorry.
I roll for solve the plot. All right. So you move on through this. Is there any additional things anybody wants to do while this is going on? Anyone says anything, or are you all just going to continue marching forward? Right. As you continue your tromp through the woods, I believe Corey, Beetlejuice is in the lead.
Yep. Sounds
So
good.
you'll be the one making a perception check for me.
Okay. I'm not bad at that.
Oh, and for the record, I didn't actually say it. It was something I had in my mind at the beginning of the game. Y'all have been traveling for a few days on the moon before you made the encounter with Eudora. We're just going to fast forward that. So at this point, you might actually be nearing your destination. And I believe y'all were given a map. Is that correct?
I
Were you
don't
shown the map
remember
or given the map? Because I know she went over a map with you guys.
Oh yes, I'm sorry. I was still trying to figure something out. Yeah. Eudora actually will pull out a map and say, "So I had this made before I had headed this way. After I gathered some information on where this thing would be. Turns out the Autobots are actually very helpful if you actually ask them about things. I've had nothing to do around the ship except talk to them and the guy who almost died. So I've kind of been finding out all the stuff they actually know."
What did you call them?
Call the Autognomes Autobots.
That's what I heard too. She said the Autobots.
I'm sorry. Yes,
It
Autognomes,
works for me.
transform and roll out.
Oh no! Yes, I'm sorry. I just Auto gnomes. Yes.
All right.
Well,
So
Eudora would know that. Sarah's just very tired right now.
the map she has is she has two maps. One is she can show you is how the moon kind of looks now, and the other is an overlay that is on some sort of a see-through, not see-through, but like thin waxy paper that was made from a map of how the moon should have looked maybe 5,000 years ago. And you can see that there are dotted lines that are plotting the course that she is following and that y'all are actually following. It's a different style of map. It definitely did not come from the temple where y'all were at. Like I said, I don't remember if she actually gave you the map or not. I believe she would try to equip you as best she could. So I believe she would have equipped you with a map. She definitely showed you one. So we'll say you have the Elven map as well. You can compare and contrast if you'd like. You'll find that the Elven one is much closer to the modern one. But the one she has was made, it's sort of like the Elven one has more detail in some areas, but it looks very hand-drawn and handwritten. Whereas this other one looks like it has been very carefully produced for spacefarers, because hers didn't come from this planet. Or this moon, I should say. And Corey, with that roll, you don't really notice anything out of the ordinary. Everything looks fine. Are we casting again, or is this just? Oh, it says for description only, so I guess you're not. All right. As y'all are compare your maps and continue on your journey, Corey, I need a dexterity saving throw as my man in the lead.
Okay. Saving throw. Roll.
Okay. You missed by one, unfortunately. Essentially, do you remember the net trap from Indoor, the original Return of the Jedi?
What
The
was
net
that now?
trap?
The what from what?
Net trap from
Net-
Indoor in the original Return of the Jedi.
It's a typical net trap
I've
where
never
it goes
seen
snap.
the movie Endor. What is this?
Planet Endor.
Are you messing with me right now, Corey? I'm asking if you remember that so I can give you an idea of what you're looking at.
Of course I'm messing with you. What are you talking about?
I was like, are you
Do
just
I
the word
remember Endor?
We were all worried about you there for a minute.
Who do you think you're talking to here? Suddenly I've gone addled.
Well, you are snatched up, and who was directly behind him? Who was second in line? It may have been, I believe Kehoe said he was following elves, so it might have been Dell or when Tinker's flying.
The flying.
So it's either Dell or Eudora. Eudora, odd or even? Eudora being Sarah,
Even.
odd or even? All right. All right, I rolled odd, so Dell needs to make a saving throw. I have his character sheet. I can do that in theory. Open up character. Dex save.
Are we all making a saving throw, or
Nope, just the front two. All right, yeah, he goes right up with you. Yeah, the two of you find yourselves hanging from a tree about 15 feet off the ground, in a big, thick, ropey net. The ropes are actually like a tangle of vines that have been somehow woven together. It was pretty well hidden into the grass. It looked like a natural part of the setting until it suddenly wasn't. It was very cleverly made trap. That's the 15 DC. You're not in any pain. There's no like spikes embedded in there or anything like that. But it is thick, and you are way high off the ground, and you feel like it is beginning to close like it's beginning to tighten around you. Like there is a living thing that is starting to squeeze.
Okay.
And we can go into combat rounds to measure it off, or y'all can just state what you're doing. I'm good either way. The rest of you will see them suddenly hanging from a tree.
I cast Sacred Flame on the vine that's holding us up.
Okay. Sacred Flame targets a creature. The creature makes a save. But this isn't a creature. Can you target regular things with Sacred Flame? I'm going to say you can. I'll tell you what. Yeah, just go ahead and roll damage. Roll the damage.
Hold on. I'm
Good
trying. It's happening. Any second. There we go. 1 point of damage, sir.
All right. Like I say, it does say you have to target a creature. I don't know if you can target regular stuff, but I'm allowing it this time. I might not in the future. Fey magic, sometimes things go wild and things work different.
Well,
So we'll go with that.
Is a plant a creature? I don't know. What does that mean?
This is not.
It can be if it's intelligent, I would say.
But yeah,
This is while it is made of plants, this itself is not a creature.
it's a 1 point of radiant damage.
Okay.
I suck.
At least you can admit it.
It takes that 1 point, but it also feels good because radiant, I grow a little. It's like being stabbed with a pizza. I don't understand. I want to like it. All right. It smokes a little, but you are still hanging. And you'll see that it begins to almost immediately the fibers begin to repair themselves as it continues to constrict around you guys. I'll double check. Dell's in there too. See if there's anything Dell would do. He
I
turns into a
mean-
bug and walks out. It's like, bye, Beetlejuice. No,
This seems like a creature. It's captured us. It's regenerating. Seems like a creature to me.
and yet, it's not. You have to live with that.
Did you just say yes to live with that?
It does. Unless it kills him, then he doesn't have to. Not everything is stuff you understand. So, Dell is going to shape change into a weasel and try and just go through the holes in the net, which he thinks he can slide through as a weasel. And he gets out. He'll climb up it and start trying to chew on it. And it looks tough. I actually have no idea what the chewing ability of a weasel is, so I'm just going to say he can do a D2 of damage, so half this. Plus his weasel strength. Yeah.
Hey,
So it's a minimum of 1. He does a point of damage.
How-
And then watches it begin to knit together. It's like, ah,
how far up am I?
frustrated weasel noise. All right, what do you do?
How far up am I?
15 feet.
Okay, I do a thing.
It fails. Ha! No,
No, you'll see. I do this thing.
bonus action, you can magically tell us where. Oh, that'll do it.
I
And
starlight
you are-
step
All right.
as I turn
Um,
into a beam of light and suddenly reappear on the ground.
All right. As you starlight step, you will notice briefly that after he turned into a weasel, it began to close a lot faster, like it had that space to fill. But then you were out of it and you are safe. And he is 15 feet up in the air, chewing on a vine for some reason, as the thing continues to close. And then the whole thing starts to go up into the air, and he's like going further up, and the weasel like tries to run up the rope and to try and get to a branch to come back down the tree, and it's going too fast, so he just jumps. He's gonna make a weasel athletics.
I mean, he can starlight step too, but okay.
I guess he could, but he's just gonna run down. Why waste it?
Sure.
So actually, you know what? Well, no, because he can still take some damage because it would go over the weasel stuff. So she's gonna try the roll first. But if he falls, the worst that's gonna happen is just take the fall damage and be Dell again.
Didn't know I could do that, did you? I can still surprise you.
He is trained in athletics, but he is using a weasel's strength. That's what I needed to know. Okay. All right. He jumps to the tree and he catches a piece of bark, and the bark tears off the tree, and he goes, and splats. And Dell is laying there, taking what will be 2d6 of damage from falling. It was worth a shot. He takes his 6 points because the first one went to the weasel. Dell is fine. He will shrug that off eventually.
So I'll take that as a sign we're still going the right direction.
Hmm.
You all right, Beetlejuice?
Yeah, no. No problem, no problem. See, that's why I'm up front. Because I can turn into a beam of light.
I had no idea that you could do that.
I know. Full of surprises.
But you are.
I don't like using it, though.
Not more than once a day.
Actually, I can use it twice per day.
Oh, nice.
All right, let's go.
All right. At which this point, Dell's gonna be like, maybe we move more cautiously.
I
And
mean,
he starts.
who
He'll start
do you
doing the
think?
tiptoeing stealth walk?
Who do you think set these traps around here? Any idea? You think it's these little sprites that are following us around? I don't think so.
Could be.
Who's saying that? Who said that? What's going on?
Oh, if as you mentioned them, they are laughing their asses off at you guys.
I don't think they did that. I don't think I mean, they could. They got magic and could weave the, but I don't think so. That said, I guess we can move more slowly and cautiously. How about somebody get up here with me, and then we can search together, walk together, and wherever our gap, one person's gap in perception is lost, the other person can pick it up. I.e., get advantage on perception with a help action.
Ooh.
Good idea.
All right.
I would offer, but that's not really my forte.
If nobody else will volunteer, I guess Dell will do it.
Yep.
Yeah, because mine is a negative. I don't know if I'd be any help at all.
I thought Eudora was fairly perceptive.
She's the best of all of us, actually.
Yeah, I can do it. Sorry.
You just have to shake her out of her stupor. I'm very perceptive when I'm paying attention.
Right.
You don't have to roll. You were not rolling yet.
She was paying attention. In case that wasn't 100% clear yet.
All right, off we continue. One trap down.
Okay. You continue on and go ahead and are people being stealthy? Did anyone take that into account or nah?
Do y'all want to stealth now? You said more cautiously. What's going on? I don't think Chaos is very good at stealthing.
Sure. I'm going stealth right now. All right. Stealth Pally. That's the best. That's pretty good for me.
Right. Stealth it is. That'll just make us go even slower, by the way. But
it is. It does make you go slower unless y'all are high level rogues.
Well, I have a thing actually for that. Because we've been doing this for days now.
Yes.
I am, from my background as a Marine, where is it? My feature is that I'm pretty good at keeping us marching. That's the thing I did. I don't know how much that helps now, but that's what I got.
It's this is your travel pace in the forced march, but you know what? I'd be willing to say you could do that and be stealthy. So you move twice the normal amount of time, but you're being stealthy, so you're moving half the time, so you come up to normal time. So you as a group are trying to be stealthy, but at the same time, Kihos, the reason he is only got a 9 in stealth is because he keeps trying to, get y'all moving, and which kind of breaks the big stealth he would have had going at a 20.
Are we doing stealthy? Is that what's happening now?
Or only Kihos apparently, because nobody else wanted to roll it.
I kind of just want to go.
It's up to you. Dell suggested it, but Dell's just me being an NPC, so you can ignore me. And did. But so if everybody wants to just do that, then you can move it twice the normal rate with the help of your gift.
Sounds great. I like that. Let's do that.
Cool.
All right, maggots, let's go. Hop, left, right. Sorry, that's it. I'm done now.
Settle down there, buddy.
Cool.
So,
Well, all right.
yes, sir. I guess I'm a steer, sir.
Then y'all continue moving. There's a person in the lead can go ahead and make a perception. I believe you have advantage now because you have a help action.
Mm-hmm. Sarah, why don't you roll your perception with advantage? With advantage. You know, Spike, I'm glad somebody got that reference. I'm glad you got that reference. There we go. Good job.
Okay.
At the advantage, I guess.
Hang on. There we go. All right. With a 23, as you are moving forward, you pick up on this that there is something wrong with some of the trees as you're moving forward. Some of the shorter trees. They don't sway right with the wind as some of the other similar size trees. Like a big tree doesn't sway much. Not your level, maybe way up in the treetops. But smaller ones, you can usually see the tops of them, and you can tell if they're swaying with the wind. Some move one way, and some are moving another. And you pick up on this with a 23. The trees aren't moving correctly, and it's enough to catch your attention that these trees are weird.
You know, guys, there's something not right out here. Have you looked at the trees? They don't look right. They don't move right.
Right, so we should stay still until we figure out what's wrong with these trees. Can I make a survival check?
Suggesting that, but I think we all need to be like really aware of our surroundings because something doesn't feel right. Nobody else has noticed that?
You want to make a survival check to stay still? Is that what you're saying?
No, I want a survival check to understand what's going on with these trees.
Oh, okay. Sure. You can look at them with your survival knowledge. All right. With a 14, you look at the trees. Most of them, you're like, because she's pointed it out, you do see what she's talking about. And as you look around the trees and their movement, you realize that there's tracks, not like human feet tracks, but something that these trees literally have tracks, like they have moved. There are paths through the forest that lead that they're following. They are mobile trees, although they don't appear to be walking at the moment. You have caught on.
Hey guys, I think the trees are creatures. Maybe we should give them like a wide berth or something.
Yeah, I think you could say that again.
I kneel down and I go, that's a track that I don't know, and it ends at that tree. I think the trees are walking around.
Alive. Mobile.
Hey, Tink.
Uh,
I think you should go up, see where the pattern of where these trees are, and we can go which way we can go to go around them.
okay, I'll go up and scout. Pardon me.
All right. So you're gonna fly upwards and look around. You can make a perception check, see what's going on.
It's all just wisdom.
All right. Hang on. Sorry, I have other things open. All right. You look around, you fly up, you're looking through the trees at these smaller trees that he seems worried about, but really you're just seeing trees. You're not picking up on anything just weird. This looks very natural, very normal. Whatever it is, you're not able to pick up anything.
That, my report back. I got nothing.
Okay.
Try going that way.
I don't know. Chaos, you got any ideas?
Just try to go around them. I mean, I've smote a tree before. I'll smite a tree again if I need to. But just want to point out, you're all right, Beetlejuice. You think everything's a creature? Trees, nets,
Yep.
might just be a tree.
They're all creatures. Every single thing. Everything.
All out to get us, man.
I'm sure this moon, it's alive. It's gonna like spin around and shake us off one day, and then like try and eat the planet. That's what these things do.
Well, then we better stick together, eh?
Ah, that's right. Anyways, is there a way we can plot a course, like not through these trees, but like around them?
It looks like as you're looking around, you're kind of already surrounded by them.
Right, we're in the midst of them. We've kind of wandered into the stupid spot. Does anyone speak tree?
Trees have a language.
Not today, but I could tomorrow.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Why didn't Dell have that one prepared? I'm assuming he doesn't actually. I'll be honest. I will look, but I'm like 99% sure that's not.
Yeah, he'd probably be talking to the trees if he was here right now.
Well, this character sheet doesn't have languages on it.
I don't think tree is a language.
Well, they might speak like Sylph or something like that, or like, because I speak. I don't think they'll speak Primordial. That's not something they speak.
Well,
Alright.
I don't think Beetlejuice knows anyway, so shush, Corey.
Beetlejuice knows what?
What the trees speak.
Well, I was going to try Sylph if I had it. That seems like the most obvious choice.
Yeah. Isn't Speak with Plants a druid spell? I don't even see it.
Yes, it's like I think it's speak with animals and plants, maybe.
I don't know.
Oh, there's a Speak with Animal. Oh, locate
There's a
animals or
speak with
plants?
plant.
It's-
Yeah,
I-
there is.
It's a higher level one, I think.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, he might not have it. Yeah, it's possible.
Speak with plants is third level, so he would not have it yet.
Speak with plants.
yeah.
It's definitely a
Yeah, there
spell.
you go.
Wow. Why is it so high? What a useless spell to have. Be a
Third
high-level
level
spell.
transmutation, one
Let's
action
not-
stealth.
It's not a useless skill if you have trees that might murder you for being in their territory. I mean, that seems kind of useful right now.
That's very situation specific.
And yet, you chose that situation for your game.
I did. You're right. They should totally murder you.
That
At any rate-
escalated quickly.
I think now maybe we should start stealthing around these trees. How about we do stealth now? And we can, like, sneak past them. Right? Alright, let's do that.
All right.
That sounds like our plan now. We gotta sneak
Do we
past
all
them.
have to roll stealth individually, Howard? Or
Yeah, if you want to try and stealth away from the trees that have surrounded you, sure.
yeah.
I also wear heavy armor, so I suck too. But at least I'm skilled in it.
Oh, I forgot to turn that off. I'm sorry.
All right. I will say this. Oh wait, no, you really failed that perception check. Sorry, I want to give Tink information, but she doesn't know how to notice things. She's terrible at it. Yeah. All right. So y'all start stealthing, or try to. I guess Dell will too, because that's what we're doing. Oh, that's right. No, he's not a weasel anymore. So, although that would be great. Just I'm a weasel. I leave. Screw you guys.
Druids.
Stealth. There it is.
Yep, they see us all. Initiative, they strike.
It was a pretty difficult roll since they were already looking at you, but Dell vanished.
Oh, is that Dell? Okay, well, interesting.
I don't know why it came up as me rolling. I was clicking on his sheet, but yeah, that was his stealth check. You say let's do that. And he's like, God, I said we should do this earlier. He goes into his like ultimate Zen druid state of I'm in the forest and no one can see me. Boom. And Dell's gone. And the rest of y'all are like, creak.
The ground is creaky. Are there floorboards underneath the leaves here on the ground?
These rolls, you found them. Actually, Sarah, the Herringon is fairly stealthy.
I'm sorry, what?
The Herringon is fairly stealthy.
Yes.
Tinker didn't try.
Well, me and Kios, we wear heavy armor.
So y'all clanked about.
Yeah, Tinker, are you rolling stealth at all?
You
Yeah,
don't
she
have
would,
to.
but she also sometimes assumes that because she's not walking, that she's not as loud as you guys are. So
Just flutters around. No one's
There
looking
you
she's
at
like,
go.
you guys will draw like all the attention. I don't have to be as stealthy. I just don't have to be louder than
My
you
wings
guys.
fluttering are not as loud as your big stupid feet stomping around.
Right? That's kind of her thoughts on it. So
Oh, look who's saying who has big feet. Eudora is made of feet. All right. So, Giles, as some of y'all clomp around and the druid vanishes, Tinker and Kios, our two Fey-like, just kind of, they fit in almost like, oh no, we were always here. It's fine. They tried to like casually walk. The difficulty here was 20 because you had people looking at you. If you should be able to see it on the main screen. They basically look like strange twisted trees, but now that y'all are trying to stealth around, the trees all begin to like turn and move towards you. One
not
of
at
them
all creepy.
is walking over to a tree and touching it. And when he does, they do, whatever it is.
it
It's the palm apparently of it suddenly seems to have a palm as it lays its branch against the tree. And after a moment, you can see it like it adheres. It begins to just move up the tree and walk up it. The weird limbs are they're almost spidery in their movement, but it is definitely a tree, and you hear it creak, and it moves slowly. The others are moving around as well. This particular one is climbing up the tree that had the net thing that came down. The rest are just kind of you see them moving around on the ground, but now that they've begun moving openly, you Tinker, you will notice, but you failed to notice before. There are some also sitting in the trees, moving around. That when they were still looked like they were just parts of trees, like knotted branches. And they are watching you, but they haven't taken any actions against you other than the fact that you stepped into one of their traps. None of them, they don't appear armed other than, their giant club-like arms.
All right. We just continue to tiptoe past them like we're not.
As
here.
you try to do that, they move to block your path. You're now 100% aware they saw you.
Hey,
Except for the druid who just faded out of reality.
I look to Kios. I look back at the tree creature. I'm like, I hope they understand me. Hey, can we move through? We'll pay a toll or whatever.
They look at you curiously, but they don't speak.
Um, I will pull out a cantina with some water and I'll uncork it and I'll drink a little and show that it's water and then I'll hand it over to the creature. Maybe they'll take it and drink. The trees people need water.
Right.
It's my homage to friendship. Hopefully that works.
That makes sense to me. Let me make a. It's going to study you and try to determine what you're doing. You can roll persuasion. Let's
Sure.
think of a skill that sounds better.
Not very good at that still, but I try.
Well, it's also going to roll its insight to understand what you're up to. It's not terribly insightful,
I'm
but you didn't fail your roll. It didn't
I'm a
actually
little more
fail its roll.
persuadery than normal.
All right. It looks at you. It sees the offered canteen, and it watches you. It doesn't reach for the canteen, but it doesn't seem to become more hostile or anything. It just seems kind of like it's on a neutral level right now. Like the picture. Are you looking at the picture? Have you seen it yet?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you share it?
Yes, I did.
Oh, cool. Hey, those at home, they look like that. The creature looks at you. Oh, Tinker. And I guess technically the Harengon as well can make arcane checks to know what these things are from the Fey realms. Tinker knows. What's that? Arcana? That's my thing. You know that because of your specific type of arcana, these are called Artuk, and they have no useful parts in engineering, but they are from the Fey realm. They are tree people.
Nice.
I mean, I could get past them, but I would be leaving Kios, and I'm not going to do that. So
They are, is you don't know much about them, but you do know that they are tree people. That they have, you know enough to know they are intelligent and they have a society-like structure. But you don't know any specifics about them. Like you don't know their holidays or their preferences. You assume that you would assume that their biology is similar to a tree, so they probably prefer things like sunlight and water. You don't know for sure if they eat or not, or if they do eat, what they eat,
Or who they eat.
their holidays, and suddenly I imagine them covered in tinsel.
They actually only do that at a special type of club for the adults. So you know that they are Artuk and that they are intelligent. You would guess then that the traps are something that they are setting, which you probably already guessed that anyway, as one of them is crawling up the tree to inspect the trap. What else do y'all do as you are surrounded by these? And you would guess on the ground with you, you see 6 of them. There's at least 3 more in the trees.
I've got a crazy.
Being weird.
I've got a crazy idea. Unless someone has a less crazy idea first. All right, here we go. So Quijos he's very athletic. He likes sports and everything. And one of the little trinkets from his background is a 10-pound bronze discus, which is a sport that he's very fond of.
All right.
So he's gonna pull that out and see if he can start to show hey, look, it's a toy, and see if he can encourage play with these creatures with a frisbee.
Interesting. All right. I guess it's gonna be a charisma check. I'm not sure which skill. Persuade, maybe?
I'll take that because I'm pretty good at it. So he definitely shows off some tricks. He's pretty good, and he's good at persuasion.
You are. All right, and then it will make an insight to see what you are doing, which is modified by your persuasion. All right. The one in front of Beetlejuice will turn its head slowly and kind of regard you. But one that is kind of off to the side, actually a smaller one, will step forward and like be studying you as you're doing that. And then it will make to reach for the disc. While like you can see that the others behind it begin to move it defensively.
Hmm. I'd offer it in
Right.
yes, in a non-aggressive way.
Right. I'm not going to make you re-roll. You already made an 18, so if you say you're keeping that same tone as you offer it non-aggressively, it takes it and it tries to do what you did, where it rolls it on its arm and big old branchy arm, and it just kind of like falls off. And it tries again a couple times and like flips it over and studies it, and finally one of them like pushes the smaller one, and the smaller one gives it back. There is a groaning sound, like trees creaking in the wind, that increased during this time. It does appear to be coming from them. Tinker and anyone else who speaks Sylvan, which I think is just Tinker.
Yeah, I think so.
I'll check Dell.
I told you,
I had to
Sylvan.
go look at his character.
I don't think Dell does.
I don't think so either, but doesn't hurt to look. Language. Nope. You hear it. It's like you hear words that are being groaned out slowly. And it's like the Ent speak from Lord of the Rings movies.
I was thinking, Dory from Finding Nemo and Whale.
Yeah. Bruno, you're breaking me. Stop it. All right. So, yeah, it's that slow, groany sound, but you realize there are words in it, and you understand them. They do speak Sylvan, and basically, there was concern amongst them what you realize now, if you didn't already guess, was a child of them that wanted to see what the disc was. And then the others were like, "Don't do that. You don't know what these are. Keep these people. These people.
You don't know where that's been."
Essentially, they are regarding y'all as trespassers, but they haven't taken any hostile actions yet.
Yeah,
But you can make out what they're saying. It is a form of Sylvan. It's sort of like when you hear like when an elf hears a drow speak in Elven. It's like,
yeah,
the accent is all wrong. You're clearly from somewhere else, but we're both speaking the same language.
I'm gonna try and say the same thing. I'm assuming it's gonna come out like my attempt at Dory's whale attempt, being like, "We're just passing through." Everyone else is probably just looking at me like,
mocking me.
"Are you talking to me? Oh God, where can that go wrong?"
All right. All right, you can totally try and talk with them, and since you speak their language, that helps. Make a persuasion check.
Okay.
Kind of charismatic, I think.
You know you can't speak tree.
I adore you, Sarah.
Stop thinking you can do these things when you can't.
You can't, Nemo. I love you, Sarah.
So they listen to you. When you speak to them, they all take notice and they'll start looking at you and they appraise you, and it makes sense to them. No, they make sense. It makes sense to them that what is clearly a fey creature can speak Sylvan.
Yeah.
They know what fey creatures are.
Yeah, they're not dumb.
So they begin addressing you specifically and slowly asking you why are you here?
Basically explaining that we're passing through on the way to Elven. I don't know if they're necessarily be an equivalent for tomb in their culture, but looking for Elven dead. We don't want to bother you guys. Just
Okay.
and she kind of is explaining like generally where we're going because she's assuming that's more what they're concerned about.
The one that is in front of Beetlejuice is probably the tallest of them. kind of creaks its head a little bit too far to the right to where it just kind of looks like off, and their whole non-humanoid physiology looks creepy to begin with. And just as it's regarding you, looking past Beetlejuice, and it says no pass this way, and it begins to say gesture slowly for you to move around. And y'all have maps and such. You would probably know, as a group, as y'all have discussed it, that you should be close. And if you go as far around as he is eventually indicating, it takes a while for him to get all out. That's going to probably pass where you need to be.
That doesn't make sense to my brain at the moment.
Okay. If I like, you are nearing an area that they are claiming as their territory, but you're also nearing the area you need to be at to find this tomb.
Oh,
In
so
other
basically it's in their territory.
Yeah, exactly. We need to go in their
Okay,
territory.
you're just being complex about it.
My bad. I was trying to put more of how he explains it and how it would come across.
You're too smart for me right now. Don't be that smart.
The more you talk, the more nervous Dora seems, and she's gonna like hop up to you and be like, "What are they saying? What are they saying?"
I basically where we're looking for is in the middle of their territory, and they don't want us to enter their territory. They're asking us to go around, but yeah.
Can you ask them like if there's some way to get permission to go in there, like maybe a favor we could do in exchange, or
We were getting to that. It takes a little while, as you've noticed. And that was going to be Tinker's next attempt, was to be like, can we do something for you? Obviously, since I don't want to say that we're more mobile because that makes it sound like they're slow. but basically, she's going, like, is there any other long-term threats to your territory other than us that are just wanting to get in and get out?
It looks like it's in thought for the moment.
Yeah, bear in mind, she's smarter than I am at this moment.
she's not medicated.
Exactly.
Yeah, it looks in thought for the moment, and like considers your offer. And then they begin to converse with each other. But again, you understand them. So they're basically asking whether or not they should trust you.
And she's being very respectful about it. And she's basically saying this is to make sure that no more people from the city come out this way.
Right.
Because they're looking for the specific thing that they left in their tomb or whatever this thing is.
We'll take it away for you. Take it off your
Basically,
hands.
if we come back empty-handed, she's insinuating that maybe somebody else will try. But she's not trying to threaten them or anything. She's not like, oh, we're going to go back and bring reinforcements. No, if we come back empty-handed and be like, sorry, we tried, they'd be like, oh, let's try again.
Like, we'll take this problem off your hands so you don't have to worry about it anymore.
Yeah, so she's like, if we can make, at least a report of the thing that they were looking for isn't there. Even that way, we have some sort of answer so that way nobody else will come looking. That made more sense in my own head.
After a moment, they will tell you, after a moment of like deliberation between themselves, there is something you could do while they discuss. There is machines that have been attacking. They describe machines, and you as an engineer are like,
yeah,
what?
I know exactly what that is.
But she's also like, why are they? That's not cool if they're attacking you. So that's also her reaction.
They are metal beings that are eating the forest. They
Sounds like
mini,
logging.
they describe them as being many-legged with well, they would know what bugs are. They said they describe them as being insect-like, and they describe these creatures that are very shiny metal, but something harder than rock, like an ore.
Uh-huh.
They are definitely insectoid, and they are just tearing apart the forest. And they say if you could drive them away, then you could enter their territory.
Okay, ask a couple more questions. Like how long they've been coming here, what direction they're coming from, and where can we find them?
They are a new threat. And they basically, he'd already been kind of explaining the boundaries that he wanted you to walk around.
Yeah.
And he did not. Are you insightful? You're not terribly, right?
It's a wisdom-based skill.
Yeah.
What does that tell you?
Yeah, that's not terribly. If you pick it up, you can roll with it. If you don't pick it up, then you don't. But basically, there's a circle around their territory. You're at the bottom. He was trying to make you go around this way. They are this way on the other side. I don't know if you can see all that on the camera.
Not quite, but okay.
Okay.
I'm smiling and nodding.
All right. So basically, the other direction around is where these creatures are, and he is basically saying that they are destroying the forest.
Gotcha.
And they are their habitat.
All right. I share this with the rest of the class.
Cool.
I'd certainly like to start swinging my sword at something.
All right. Dell appears out of nowhere. Just he appears with the group.
He pops up out of a bush.
I mean, if that's the way through.
Right. Kill some machines. Bug machines. Sounds easy enough.
Tinker's also thinking about, what sort of parts she can scavenge off these things.
She's looking for a bug mount, a big machine bug mount.
She can have a mecha.
All right. Is there anything y'all want to do or say? You're just going to run off to go kill some machines, or?
Well, I can't say anything that I don't speak their language, so we're
Well,
dependent
I'm
on,
interpreting.
we're dependent on
if you
Tink.
want to ask a question through her, she's right there.
Yeah. Well, we know where they are. So
And she's being remarkably focused for a long period of time and very patient with the tree people.
Something about the air on this moon. That's a new side of Tinker today.
All right. If that's it, y'all are welcome to start making your way around this territory. They make it a point to explain to Tinker how to get around the territory. Basically they tell you what they do most in tree descriptions of what kinds of trees are planted where, which, to them means a lot. And to Tinker probably is like, there are different kinds of trees.
She's probably like, this is reminding me of my childhood, and this is really weird because I'm not used to thinking like this anymore.
Why do there have to be so many kinds of trees? All right. So, but they do give you a decent explanation on what to do and where to go. And y'all can just start making your way around. It remains dusk.
Shocker.
It remains.
And so there's, going to be torchlight. And as y'all make your way around, within about an hour of travel, you are near their settlement. So our survivalists, which I believe are Dell and Beetlejuice, will be quick to notice that probably due to the fact that you're near a settlement, even though it looks like a bunch of trees, there isn't a big problem with large predatory animals or anything around here. If anything, while their settlement lives in conjunction with its neighbors of other foresty things, they are keeping it safe for themselves, and that there's nothing kind of traveling through that you need to worry about. But after about an hour of travel, you do actually hear sounds that sound like ripping and buzzing and just, and, then you occasionally you hear the sounds of like what sounds like lumber falling, like if anyone's ever been around a lumber yard, except this would be around a lumber yard with chainsaws. So if you hang out with tinker gnomes, maybe, or the strange guild that Tinker's a part of, because there's a lot of weird machine sounds. Who would like? Is anyone want to scout ahead? Or y'all just gonna run up and start attacking things? I'm for the latter. It's hilarious.
Well, I'm with you on that, but usually people hold me back and scout it out.
I guess we should scout. I'm not too terribly stealthy though.
I can be something else and just kind of go up and look and come back.
Sure. Sounds good.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're probably our best bet.
All right.
I mean, I don't know
There's a
about that.
dragon. No. Double checking. I'm pretty sure he has. I think it's just 2 hishes of wild shape because I think it's
Yeah, it would be 2 per short rest.
yeah. See if there's anything else I want to use before that. Um. Nope. Not based on the spells he chooses. All right. So he looks around and you know what? He's gonna be a weasel again because he wants to be kind of inobtrusive and run through trees. And he's done it before. He's gonna be a special moon weasel with 4 eyes. Technically, if he sees a beast, he could do it, but we'll just go with normal weasel. He skitters off, and time passes. Do y'all do anything or prep anything while you're waiting?
No.
Nope. All right. Well, time passes, and he returns. He takes his Dell form and says, "All right, so." They look like bugs. They're not wrong. I would say, are y'all familiar with ticks? Just big, kind of spidery, but large, bulbous bodies, mandibles, except they are completely made of metal. They have this under thing that comes up, like they have mandibles and then something under it that does like a sawing. They are just tearing up these trees and then picking them up with their heads and moving them, or they can use their legs. Their legs look like swords. They are some like some sort of clockwork horrors, if I had to come up with something to describe them.
How many did you see?
There's a lot. Also, actually, I'm going to make a check before I give you all any more information rather than just let him automatically get everything, because that seems unfair. Because, he's not even here. He can't be the absolute star of the story. Perception. I'll use his natural perception because I don't feel like looking up weasel stats. It's based off his wisdom anyway. Well, all right then. Fine. He says, well, there's, I want to say, about 24 of these things, and each one is big, almost the size of a person. I would say they're slightly smaller than people, like large dogs, maybe small creatures. They look like they might be made of precious metal, but like copper and bronze, not gold or anything, but plated in precious metal at least. And there was someone that looked like he may be controlling him way back in the back. He had a weird staff that had gears and lights on it at the top. And with my very large perception roll. And interestingly enough, Kios, he's your people.
Ah.
Well, maybe I can't really tell the difference between the Gith Yankee and the Gith Sarai. No offense.
And then so there's the Pirates of Gith, and then there's some other shady that are doing their own thing, but they're
He's
Gith.
Gith.
Yeah.
So that's what I was able to see. They didn't seem to the machines didn't seem to even notice me. I actually got to a point where I tried just getting in front of one of them, and it just continued what it was doing. I don't think they saw me as a threat, but to be fair, I was a weasel at the time, and probably not a threat.
But the Gith, he said, looked like was controlling the all of them. So
Yeah, he had a staff, but it was a weird staff. It had lights on it and things.
Hmm.
I mean, he was at a distance of more than 60 feet, and I honestly don't know if infravision would transfer over to my wild shape anyway.
well, I don't know a lot about magic. That's more your elves territory, but it seems like if we get that staff, that would probably help us.
Probably, but I mean, if we have to go through them, I mean, like I said, there's like 24 of these things. That's a lot.
That's a lot.
I mean, maybe we could try talking to him. We could try running, or we could just try sneaking past these trees. I don't know. Whatever y'all want to do. I'm gonna stay out of it for some reason.
We steal his glow stick. That'll help, right? If we take the control stick from him, then he can't control them no more.
That's what I'm thinking, because as soon as he notices us and he's got that control stick, we're going to be swarmed. So, who's feeling particularly tricksy today?
Tinker.
I mean, like, I would think this is up you. I'm not sure.
If it's my people, there's a chance that it could go well, but that's a very small chance. I could try going just the straight diplomatic approach. Just try talking to him. But then I'm worried if he turns and sicks all of those things on us.
Well, I mean, if you're up close and he attacks you, then maybe grab the staff. I don't know.
Well, I'll give it a go.
All right.
So how are we gonna do this? Are we just gonna walk up to him, or are we like? Is it just gonna be you? What's going on here?
Well, probably won't. He's probably too smart to think that I'm out here alone. But we don't want to approach too many, make him anxious or jumpy. No, I mean, I'm not sneaking up to him. That's for sure. Oh well, I could get there quickly, not silently, but well, does anyone want to come with me?
Yeah, actually, I'd like to. That sounds like a good idea.
All right. Should we just be
Yeah.
truthful about it? Just tell them we're here. We speak for the trees.
We speak for the trees.
Hippies.
I don't know. I think a person like that doesn't like he's after something.
Oh yeah, no.
Maybe we should just hear him out first before we say whatever it is we're doing here.
All right. We are famously known for being few of words and quick to action, but we'll find out.
Well, we can just say that we're adventurers looking for a tomb that's nearby. That's not lying.
Ease into the conversation about the Autobots, Auto ants.
Autobots.
I like that they're now Autobots. They need to put that little red symbol on their chest.
Not my fault. Grad school has fried my brain. I don't know what I'm saying anymore.
All right, so is it just Kihos and Beetlejuice are going to go approach the unknown gift?
Yeah, sounds good.
Awesome. All right, go ahead and roll out new characters. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, fair.
Just automatically. You're already dead.
No rolls, just go.
Actually, I was saying that I'd go too.
You want to go? Okay. I'm all for it. Everybody goes. Everybody goes. Everybody dies. I mean, doesn't die.
Look
Right.
you.
All right. As you approach, as described before, these Clockwork Horror is a very accurate name. These things, they look like monstrous, giant metal ticks. There's things in their faces that are constantly moving around. That you're talking about Autobots. You know how the Autobots and the Decepticons both look in the new movies, where they have almost a weird, geary, bug-like appearance to their face. That's how these faces look. It's just creepy and just unsettling. These things are very intent on just deforesting the entire area. They're clearing the path. As you are approaching, if you don't make a move to get in their way, they don't seem to do anything to you guys so far. But also as you approach, you will see towards the back, because Dell will point him out. He's that way, and sure enough, as Dell points it out, you're able to make off in the gloom. There is somebody holding a staff. The staff has lights on it, which it doesn't look like the lights are made to illuminate the area. But they illuminate enough light that you can make out like his vague silhouette in the gloomy dusk at this distance. And he's a good like 90 feet away, so you can't quite make him out for sure exactly what you're looking at. But yeah, the general shape of this guy, he's too stout to be some willowy elf. His pointed ears are showing. I mean, you see enough to go, that looks like it could be a gift. You think Bill's right. Beyond that, you're not real sure what else is going on with that guy. As you approach, y'all didn't say you were stealthing. You said you were kind of blatant walking. So he will see you and he will call out in a deep voice, "Who approaches?" And he has a very gruff, very, confronting manner.
Mm-hmm. I will respond. We are just passers-by, and I'm responding in Gith.
Okay. At which point he will switch from common to Gith. "Well, show yourselves." And then he reaches up and he touches something on the staff, and something like opens on the staff and light comes forward within 60 feet. So he still can't quite see you, but he starts to he actually, no, he just stands there. He told you to come forward in Gith. So the rest of you didn't actually get that.
I will lead forward and with my body language invite people to follow me as I take the lead out here.
Okay.
All right, follow Kios. He knows what he's doing.
At least one of us does.
Dell mentions, hey guys, don't forget, remember, Gith aren't supposed to be here. There should only be elves. So this guy may not be a problem, or at least not a problem for us. As you approach closer, one of the lights you saw that looked like it was just near the staff for some reason, you realize now it's not a part of the staff, it's a part of his face. His right eye is lit up and kind of glowing. Not in a, it just, there's nothing natural about it. You're not sure what's up with that. He looks like he's a tall Gith, broad of build. He has weapons on him. He has a very large looking sword, kind of with a curve to it, but it doesn't look like it doesn't look like a scimitar. It looks too big. And he is wearing what appears to be like a mix of chain and plate. Like it's not a full set of plate mail, but it is definitely some heavy armor. And beyond that, you'll notice the weird thing about him is the staff, which it looks like it itself is also made of similar materials to these clockwork things are. There are things on it that are spinning like little gears. As you get closer, you can see that it is itself has multiple moving parts, including parts of the shaft that are spinning and then realigning themselves. Although the area that he's holding stays still, so it's a very strange device. You wouldn't expect to see a person like him wielding something like that unless he took it from someone else. It doesn't look like something he would be the guy that made it. Is your at least first impression? You never know. You can't judge a book necessarily by its cover. So, who are you? In Gith.
We are here. I'll give you a second. He responds right away, but let me hold on. This is we're a crew. We are here for an archaeology site. Big money. The elves love their history, and I'm Kihos.
He like sizes you up for a moment. Go ahead and make a persuasion check. You're not lying, so there's no deception involved. Just whether or not he believes you. You want him to believe you.
Yeah.
He's trying to be insightful here. All right. He kind of looks you over and says, well, so you work with the elves?
Contract work, you understand.
You might understand why that makes me jumpy, as I'm kind of taking stuff from their moon.
Well, I'll be happy to let you know that the elves haven't sent us here for you. However, there is I'm sure you've noticed that these woods are very much alive. It's a very living jungle, and some of these trees are sentient. There's a crush of them over this ridge, and you are beginning to encroach on their territory. I see you have all of these wonderful machines, but there are more of them.
Well, this wood is from the Feywild. I'm not real sure why it grows on this moon, but it looks like what I learned was correct. It has special properties that can be used to make things that are better than normal wooden objects. So I'm being paid a lot to gather this wood, and I'm guessing if some of this wood is coming to life, maybe might be useful. So, Sam head the right way, do you?
Well, I'll just let you know that we're heading that way, but we have been given special permission by the denizens of that land. They're not so pleased that you're here. And again, I'm not trying to mess with your business. I understand you're a businessman. I'm a businessman. This is the way of things. I'm just giving you some friendly advice that you should start going that way. And I point just to start trying to guide him away from the area. I don't know if it's the same trees everywhere. He doesn't know about trees, so.
Well, maybe we can work something out here. What do you make of these denizens?
There's at first I thought there were only a few, but they are incredibly good at hiding. You could barely notice them. And sure, your machines would definitely make quick work of the first wave, but the jungle has eyes. My Gith brethren, look out.
Oh. Well, hang on. There's a dog trapped in this room. Text somebody, come get this dog. All right. So here's what I'm gonna propose here, like a counter proposal. You want to get into the area where these tree folk are, and I want to get in the area where the tree folk are, but you're not after the trees. Why not just work together?
Oh, because I don't want the trees after me.
But between my little army here, you and your friends,
They've got a much larger army.
roll. At this point, you don't actually know if you're right or not. So I'm
Yeah.
going to say this is a bluff. So I'm going to say roll deception.
Absolutely. I'm with you on that.
See. He stares at you and you stare at him. I feel like I can take my chances with some trees. I mean, yeah, watch. And he pushes some, he like has a panel that's open that has a light shining towards you at the moment.
Mhm.
And he pushes something inside the panel. And when he does, the all of the clockwork creatures like turn and they go and they take down a really large, like, like 70-foot tall tree. They just begin to just mow it down, and they take it down. And then he says, he does like this, and he points, and he also points with the staff. And when he does, the tree falls in exactly that manner, and his little army of giant tick monsters just begin to shred it. And while it is only one tree they're taking down, the sheer amount of destruction that they do upon this tree is impressive. It is they're going to be a problem.
For sense of distances, like how close are we to the Gith, and how close are the robots tearing apart that tree? Relatively.
He did ask you to step forward to where the light would touch you. So if you did that, then you all would be 60 feet away from him. His 24 of these monsters are just kind of dotted around the area, all between him and you. You're past some of them, so you're kind of surrounded by them, but they're all in front of him. So they are, well, actually at the moment they're all gathered up on one tree, but then they're going to start moving out again.
And I will respond, switching to common now. I'm going to say, well, it certainly seems like nothing can get in your way, huh? I'm trying to very much imply that I'm not getting anywhere with the switch to common.
Y'all heard that, and you also saw what these creatures just did to a tree.
Can I make like an insight check of some kind? Can I determine what kind of Gith he might be?
Sure. I would say history.
Okay. It's the same, nothing for anything.
Oh, look at you. As a Gith yourself, you look him over. He is not a Githzerai. They usually carry the a thing called the Unbroken Circle of Zerthamon or whatever, and it's a thing that they study and all this stuff. He didn't have any of that accoutrement on him. He has pins and symbols on his outfit, like affixed to different places in the chainmail, indicating that he's been on a member of several different crews that you recognize are pirate crews. And so you get the idea that this guy's probably working as kind of a independent merc or pirate. Like he's not currently surrounded by a crew, but you get the impression that he'll work with whoever he's getting paid by, and so he's definitely a Gith Yankee.
Okay. Um,
I go,
kind of as
since
yeah,
we're 60 feet away, I'll whisper to Kios, and I'm like, we can't leave these guys to tear down this forest. It offends my ranger sensibilities.
well, I tried doing it the elf way.
Yeah. Noted.
Yeah, and the continuous side of like he's my kind's show of force is all we really know.
All right, guys, this is it. Let's
Are you
go.
in this? All right.
We
I'll
got to
tell
get
you
the
what.
control rod.
If you're going to charge and just start attacking, we can just go ahead and put this off because the combat will take more than 30 minutes.
Yep,
We could start the combat at the beginning of next game,
sounds good.
which
good.
hopefully we'll have Del Starwind back for.
We'll have all 5 of us, and then it'll be a fair fight.
Versus 24 Clockwork Horrors and a Gith Yankee Pirate.
Sure.
All right. By the way, the Artuk and the Clockwork Horrors are both in the Spelljammer monstrous compendium appendix from second edition. I don't even know for sure if they have equivalents. I kind of like was using some of their old stats and converting.
Are you telling us to look them up so we can?
Not at all. I was just saying it because we apparently are running a show for Spelljammer fans.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, I guess that's it. Thanks for everyone for watching. And we'll see you next time. We do this every Friday, so subscribe, and we'll see you then. Go roll some dice. Bye.